And that is our big story tonight. New developments coming in by the hour after the violence overnight.
So let's get right to the very latest for you. Here's what we know so far. 9 officers injured. 5 of them were shot.
2 people are dead. One, the suspected shooter. The other, the victim in the initial shooting that brought police to that scene early this morning.
Man, listen. One of our correspondents at Arc Nation, guy from Chicago, he moved to Phoenix. He was telling us that Phoenix has a lot of Chicagoans have come down to Phoenix. A lot of them. They're making Phoenix their home. It's a hub for Chicagoans. And I'm not trying to say that that's necessarily who did this, but just giving you a little sidebar. Look at this destruction, man. Phoenix, the demographics in Phoenix are so safety friendly. It's supposed to be a safe place. I think they have under 10% Sun people. Supposed to be a safe place. I really got to adjust my metrics. 2 years ago, I said 15% would be the threshold where your town would just turn to utter chaos and trash if you had 15% Sun people. Last year, I had to adjust it to 10. Many of you remember that. I had to adjust it to 10%. I'm hoping that now I don't have to adjust it to 8, 7%. If you have more than 7% of the population of Sun people, then your town is going to be dangerous. I'm hoping I can keep it at 10.
We know so far, 9 officers injured. 5 of them were shot.
2 people are dead. One, the suspected shooter. The other, the victim in the initial shooting that brought police to that scene early this morning.
To give you some perspective on where this happened, South Phoenix, 51st Avenue and Broadway, and that's where our Faye Fredericks is joining us live. She's setting up her team coverage for us tonight. Faye?
A brazen attack on law enforcement, and she says it is happening more and more often, both here and across the nation. Tonight, 4 officers are still in the hospital, and many are facing a very difficult recovery. Now, the bullets started flying around 2 a.m. after police responded to a call of a woman shot. Police say the suspect tried to lure the officer inside the home. He refused. That's when police say Morris Jones opened fire on that first officer. Incredibly, the first officer able to scramble to safety, call for help. The neighborhood.
I hate that these officers had to take these bullets and, as she said, have long roads to recovery over some woman who's probably the most annoyingly wokest person you'd probably meet that day if you run into her. It really tears me up that officers got to respond to these women when they get shot and beat up by their thug boyfriends. Here comes an officer to save the day. Really tears me up, man, that they got to do that, man.
The neighborhood now packed with police when another man, not considered a suspect, brings a baby girl outside and sets her down outside the door. He walks over to police. Then officers go to rescue the baby. That's when police say Jones opens fire again, hitting 4 officers. 4 other officers hit by ricochets and shrapnel. All of the police officers expected to survive. Earlier this evening, we heard from both the police chief and Phoenix Mayor Kate Gallego.
9 officers shot or injured. That is an incredibly heavy weight for all of us. I want to say thank you to the dispatch team, the medical professionals, and firefighters, as well as our partner agencies who were part of today. They serve this community with excellence.
I said it this morning and I'll say it again. If I seem upset, I am.
Yes. There's nothing wrong with your eyes. That is not a typo. The police chief in Phoenix, Arizona is a sister. The police chief in Phoenix, Arizona, and I've shown you the demographics, is a sister.
I said it this morning and I'll say it again. If I seem upset, I am. This is senseless. It makes no sense. I'm trying to make rhyme and reason to this, but this kind of violence has no place in our city, and it continues to happen over and over again.
And tonight, police tell us the woman who was initially shot and the suspected gunman are both dead. Our ABC 15 investigators broke the story on who he is, and police now confirming it. Investigator Melissa Blasius continues our team coverage, digging into his past.
That's right, Faye. The suspect is identified as Morris Richard Jones III. We found the 36-year-old man had been in and out of prison his entire adult life. We also learned Phoenix police investigated Jones for domestic violence less than a year ago.
Shocking.
36-year-old man had been in and out of prison his entire adult life. We also learned Phoenix police investigated Jones for domestic violence less than a year ago.
I don't know what was going through his head.
This woman has a child with Morris Richard Jones III, but not the child taken out of the house. She says he called her after police arrived Friday morning.
He said that it was the police was outside, and I stayed on the phone with him until I arrived here.
Phoenix police previously took a domestic violence report against Jones in 2021, according to this court document. He reportedly punched an ex-girlfriend and took her 9mm gun.
Sounds like a sweet guy, man. Maybe that's why he's always got a girlfriend. You got all these dudes online. Listen to all these pop-up dating coaches. Listen to all these alpha males trying to learn how to get some game to get a girlfriend. And this guy right here, he beating them off with a stick.
And I stayed on the phone with him until I arrived here.
Phoenix police previously took a domestic violence report against Jones in 2021, according to this court document. He reportedly punched an ex-girlfriend and took her 9mm gun. It's unclear whether that ex-girlfriend is the same woman who was killed in the home. The ABC 15 investigators traced Jones's criminal history back to 2004, when he was imprisoned in Oklahoma for a car theft case. Then in 2006, he was charged in a federal firearms case. Investigators say he was a Crip's gang member nicknamed Petey Gun. Jones was sentenced to 84 months in prison. Later, on supervised release, he went back to prison twice for drug use. The Federal Bureau of Prisons shows he was let out in October 2019. Just 4 months later, in February 2020, federal prosecutors in Arizona charged Jones with smuggling illegal immigrants. He was sentenced to probation, but broke the rules in 2021 by testing positive for drugs again and spent another short stint behind bars.
My brother, he a jack of all trades, man. Wow. Everything. Smuggling drugs to people. Crip gang member. PD gun. And Crip, they don't just give you that name. You ain't just throwing names like that around. You got to earn that name. Wow. Impressive, man. This is the America you asked for. You pasty liberals have asked for. This is you have it now. You have it now. So he's just doing what's normal. This is the 22 version of him. He went from slanging drugs and slanging people, domestic violence, to injuring 9 cops, shooting 5 of them and 4 of them being hit with shrapnel, and murdering a woman and shooting at cops while a baby was feet away from he just the 2022 version. He's souped up on his gangster, his criminal mind is souped up on steroids.
LaKeniel Jones says the suspect was his brother. He didn't talk about the criminal past, but said his brother may have been suffering from depression.
He should have called and said something to let people know that he felt like this and he was going to do this.
A life of crime ending in bursts of gunfire, hurting police, endangering a baby, and killing a woman inside that home. We're still working to identify that woman, and we'll share her story as soon as we know more. I'm investigator Melissa Blasius, ABC 15, Arizona.